These are some of the best movie cars of all time. First up on the list is the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit. When Smokey and the Bandit director Hal Needham chose a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am to star in his movie alongside Burt Reynolds and Sally Field, he couldn't have predicted the impact the car would have on America. The Trans Am actually looked more or less the same for more than half a decade before the film debuted, but that didn't matter. When audiences saw the Trans Am slide around corners, leap over broken bridges, and evade Sheriff Buford T. Justice, Jackie Gleason, for hundreds of miles, they wanted a black and gold Trans Am in their garage. After the movie hit theaters, sales leaped by about 30,000 cars from 1977 to 1978, and by another 24,000 for 1979. Americans went nuts for the Starlight Black Special Edition paint job, the T-top roof, and the fact that the car was quicker and better handling than the Corvette of the same generation. It was probably a combination of all three, plus a heaping dollop of Burt's star appeal that made the Trans Am a legend. Up next on the list is the 1981 DeLorean DMC-12. John DeLorean's DMC-12 was a stainless steel stunner designed by the legendary Giorgetto Giugiaro. Under the hood, though, DeLorean wasn't quite the supercar that flashy bodywork promised, carrying a pokey 130 horsepower 2.9-liter V6. Its futuristic looks, combined with a bit of movie magic, gave the DeLorean legendary status. And because it was a time machine in the film, the real-life specs didn't really matter, with one exception. Reportedly, the prop staff replaced the sluggish V6 with a V8 from the Porsche 928, which went a long way toward helping Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, hit 88 miles per hour, fire up the flux capacitor, and shoot back to 1955. Despite its movie celebrity, DeLorean flopped on the market in the 1980s. But the car's unique retro-futurist design has earned it a cult following today. There's even a new DeLorean motor company restoring and improving the cars. Its headquarters are located in San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo and home of the Boca Brothers. Next on some of the best iconic movie cars is the 1970 Dodge Charger from The Fast and the Furious. The classic 1968-70 Dodge Charger is a TV and movie superstar. The most famous of all was the 1969 Charger General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard's TV show. But in 2000, the venerable Charger took to the screen again, this time built as a menacing black street racing machine for Vin Diesel. With a wicked stance, giant rear tires, and a humongous engine, and supercharger sticking out of the hood, the Charger was insanely cool. It was the climatic action scene of the movie that made this car so memorable. As Vin Diesel's character lines up against Paul Walker's character, who's driving a Supra, he floors the throttle and the Charger does a sick wheel stand and burnout at the same time. Movie magic for sure, but still fun to watch. Later in that same race, the two cars jump a set of train tracks, just as a locomotive passes. And a heartbeat later, Diesel flips the Charger in a spectacular finish to the chase scene. By the way, thanks for watching the Boca Brothers car reviews. Hey, make sure and subscribe. We'll be giving away some prizes here pretty soon. Hit that bell for future video notifications. And now let's get back to some of the best iconic movie cars. Next is the 1969 Mustang from John Wick. Keanu Reeves' most memorable on-screen vehicle just may be a Los Angeles city bus, but his coolest is the Mustang in the movie he made 20 years later, John Wick. The Mustang in question is identified in the movie as possibly being a Boss 429, but that's not the case. A real Boss 9 is rare and highly collectible. One sold at auction back in 2015 for $550,000. It's likely the film crew used a 69 Mustang Mach 1 with either a 390 V8 or a 428. Both are plenty potent for on-screen antics and look absolutely badass. The best scenes is watching him fishtail the Mustang around a wet airport parking lot, sliding it closer and closer to a row of dump trucks. The Mustang reappears in John Wick Chapter 2. Up next on the best iconic movie cars is the Bluesmobile, a 1974 Dodge Monaco from the Blues Brothers.
1974. A beautiful time for Monaco the country and Monaco the car. Monaco 1974 by Dodge.
Bluesmobile may not be the Batmobile, but this decommissioned Mount Prospect, Illinois police cruiser is just as recognizable as Jake and Elwood's Blues outfit. Born from Saturday Night Live veterans Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi, the sketch resulted in 2 movies. The Dodge Monaco version was only used in the first film. The sequel saw a 1990 Ford LTD Crown Victoria as the Bluesmobile's latest incarnation. The film utilized 13 different cars as the Bluesmobile, all of which were former California Highway Department patrol cars, made to look like Mount Prospect patrol cars. A world record 103 cars were wrecked during filming. Up next is the 1992 Ford Explorer XLT UN46 from the movie Jurassic Park.
It's got it all.
Why do more people find themselves in a Ford Explorer than any other vehicle in its class? For as many reasons as there are Explorers.
Onto your butts. We're now entering Jurassic Park, circa 1993. Though the cars appear to be Jeeps, they're really Ford Explorers, and a solid portion of the movie takes place in and around them. While these touring vehicles didn't see much off-roading, they're part of the Jurassic Park experience. Before the dinos got loose and the characters realized they were stuck on Isla Nublar, that is. 6 cars were used in the film, charged at, stomped on, flipped over, and buffeted by prehistoric predators. Some were completely destroyed, and at the end of filming, 3 dumpsters had been filled with parts. Next is the Mirthmobile, the 1976 AMC Pacer from Wayne's World 1 and 2. Ah, the Mirthmobile.
The AMC Pacer. That may explain why more than half the people buying the Pacer are trading in bigger cars for it. They've discovered they didn't need most of their big car anyway.
Perfect get-around for a flame-throwing, head-banging, licorice-loving guy or gal. While Wayne's World resurrected the Pacer and Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, its red rope licorice dispenser. Next is the Ectomobile, the 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor from Ghostbusters 1 and 2. The Ectomobile, or Ecto 1 and Ecto 1A, is just as famous as the men riding inside it, maybe more so. Made from a 1959 Cadillac Miller Meteor, it's an end-loader ambulance, hearse combination with a 6.3-liter V8, good for 320 horsepower. The original idea for the cruiser was more sinister, painted black with purple and white strobe lights to give it a glow, though it would have had supernatural powers, mainly interdimensional travel, and the ability to dematerialize. Once it was pointed out how often the car would be shot at night, the idea was nixed. Next on the list is the 1985 Modena GT Spyder California from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Movie magic and a limited budget are the culprits of this Ferrari imposter. A replica car built to resemble a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California, which cost around $300,000 at the time. It's an amalgam of parts, including a steel tube subframe, a Ford-sourced small block V8, and Ferrari-inspired fiberglass bodywork and emblems. Remember what Cameron said?
The 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California. My father spent 3 years restoring this car. It is his love. It is his passion. It's his fault he didn't lock the garage.
You can rest easy knowing that a real Ferrari was not killed in that infamous garage scene. Instead of a Ferrari, you have a 1985 Modena GT Spyder California. 3 replicas were made for filming. One used for most of the movie, a second for stunts and ultimately the car that rolls backwards out of the glass garage, and a third for other shots. 2 of them went up for auction in this century through Mecum. One in 2013 garnering $235,000, and the second in 2020 selling for a whopping $407,000. Next on some of the best iconic movie cars is the 1979 Ford LTD Country Squire from National Lampoon's Vacation, the first movie in a definitive franchise of comedy. Vacation is based on a story written by John Hughes for National Lampoon magazine. After seeing the success of Animal House, the crew decided to cash in, and by way of keeping it in the family, tasked Harold Ramis with directing and Chevy Chase to helm the Clark Griswold character. While Chase is the puppet master of this lineup of misadventures, the Wagon Queen family truckster, or heavily modified Ford LTD Country Squire, played a big role in the film. Who can forget the pea green paint, fall wood paneling, and 8 headlights used to drive to Wally World, and as a temporary hearse for Sweet Aunt Edna? Next on the list is the 1967 Plymouth Belvadier GTX, used in the movie Tommy Boy. The battle between Callahan Auto and Zielinski Auto Parts was one well fought by Chris Farley and David Spade, much to the chagrin of Bo Derek and Rob Lowe. We see this car through 2 eras, pre-Deer and post-Deer. The driver's side door falls off, the hood flies off, and the windshield gains a hole. When the hood departs, after Tommy left an oil can in there, you can see that the engine has an air cleaner for a single 4-barrel 440 Commando. Next is the 1967 Shelby GT500 Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Named Eleanor after the 1974 original movie, this DuPont Pepper Gray 1967 Ford Mustang Fastback is depicted as a Shelby GT500. 11 of the fictional Mustangs were created for the movie, with only 3 of them being working cars and 2 were ultimately destroyed during filming. A primary beauty car for the film was sold through Mecum in 2013 for a staggering $1 million. But you can purchase your very own licensed Eleanor replica through Fusion Motor Company. Next is the 1963 Volkswagen Beetle Model 117 Deluxe Sunroof Sedan, used in Herbie the Love Bug. Herbie is never referred to as a Volkswagen in the first film, as all branding had to be removed, but VW was on board for the second film, Herbie Rides Again. In each of the 5 films, Herbie appears slightly different, and upward of 100 cars were used in all 5. Walt Disney Studios built 11 cars for the first Herbie movie, and of those 11, only 3 are known to exist today. Normally, the interior of the Beetle would have been white, but for the film, they painted it a gray color so it wouldn't reflect the studio lights. Up next on some of the best iconic movie cars is the 2008 Audi R8 from the movie Iron Man. A genius billionaire playboy philanthropist needs a technology-appropriate car. Audi was able to convince director Jon Favreau to include the car in the first installment of the Iron Man franchise, taking its screen time so seriously as to create a microsite devoted solely to the cars used in the film. After the movie, the Audi R8 was known as the car Iron Man drives. Well, there you have it, some of the best iconic movie cars. Hey, thank you so much for watching. We really do appreciate it here at Boca Brothers Car Reviews. Check out the video we just released. It is on fire. It's the station wagons we grew up with. Boy, I tell you, this will take you down memory lane if your family had a station wagon. I guarantee you. Let us know what you think. Leave us a comment below. Give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe and hit that bell for future video notifications. Again, thanks for watching the Boca Brothers Car Reviews.